The Viking who became a Muslim king. What was a Viking doing in Baghdad as a bodyguard to the Caliph? My name was once lost to the winds of time, whispered only in forgotten scrolls and sung in firelit halls far from home. I was born a Norseman, where the sea bites harder than the winter and the sword speaks louder than words. But my journey did not end on the frozen shores of the north. No, I crossed deserts, dined with emirs, walked among minarets under crescent moons, and once, just once, I stood closer to a throne than any Viking ever dared to dream. This is how a Viking became a king in a Muslim world. North to the east. It began with gold. The year was somewhere around 1036. The frozen fjords of Sweden were choking us, trade routes waning, kings dying, and younger brothers itching for legacy. I was among them. My father had fought in the old raids, my brother farmed. But I wanted more. I wanted the world. We followed the great rivers, Neva, Volga, Dnieper, through lands filled with silent forests and shadowed men. Our long ships sailed into the heart of the continent, into lands of Rus and Slavs, where silver flowed and legends were born. There, I first heard the name Baghdad. A city so rich, they said, its walls were made of light. A place where scholars debated the stars while slaves fanned kings. A place where even Vikings could become something greater. We were called Varangians, a mix of Swedes, Danes, Norwegians, mercenaries, traders, raiders. The world saw us as savages, but the East saw us as weapons. So I chose the path few dared. I joined the caravan south, past the Caspian Sea toward the golden gates of Islam's heart. The crescent and the axe, Baghdad. Even now I struggle to describe it. Imagine coming from snow and salt wind and seeing domes that glittered like treasure hoards, streets that sang with call to prayer, spices that burned your throat and healed your soul. This was no village, it was the world, crammed into one brilliant city. But I was still a foreigner, a barbarian in their eyes, and yet they needed me. You see, the Caliph of Baghdad, ruler of the Abbasid Empire, no longer trusted his own guards. The city was drowning in political intrigue, plots blooming like weeds. He wanted soldiers from the outside, men who owed no loyalty to anyone but him. We, the tall, pale warriors from the north, became his sword. The Varangian Guard, not just in Byzantium, but in Baghdad too. They called me Ragnarr, though my name had long since faded. I took the coin. I wore the turban over my golden hair. I stood silent as marble behind the Caliph, while scholars debated law, assassins plotted in whispers. I learned their ways. I prayed when they prayed. I bowed when I must. But I never forgot the sea. One night, they came for him. A rival warlord from the southern ports of Basra, once a loyal ally, had turned against the Caliph, raising a private army of mercenaries and pirates. They stormed cities along the Persian Gulf, claiming it all in the name of purity. The Caliph could not trust his own generals. He turned to us. So we marched, Northmen in robes, bearded giants beside Arab horsemen. The clash of worlds had become one. The battle at Basra was brutal. Their men outnumbered us 3-1, but we had fury and discipline. We formed shield walls under desert stars. We fought with axes blessed by blood and Allah alike. It was there, amidst the smoke and fire, that I did what no Viking had done before. I led a charge that broke the enemy's line. And in doing so, I saved the Caliph's youngest son from an assassin's blade. From that moment, I was no longer a bodyguard. I was something more, a throne in the sand. The Caliph rewarded me not with gold, but with power. He gave me command of a desert outpost near the ancient ruins of Persepolis, a city older than Rome, where Persian kings once ruled. But this was no mere gift. It was a test. The region was unstable. Tribes roamed, tax collectors vanished, merchants were prey. He needed a ruler, someone who could tame the sand. And so, a Viking became governor. I built a court, I settled disputes, I judged thieves with Norse justice and forgave the innocent with Islamic mercy. They called me Ragnarr al-Aman, Ragnar the Just. Did I convert? I believed in Odin, but I listened to the muezzin. I washed before judgment. I fasted in Ramadan out of respect, if not belief. Faith is many things, but honor is one. For 3 years, peace reigned, the shadow of the cross. But peace breeds envy. Whispers reached Baghdad that a barbarian ruled better than their own, that the Caliph favored a foreigner over kin, that perhaps this Northman dreamed of more than land. I did not, but they acted as if I had. A letter came. My command was revoked. I was summoned back for consultation. I knew what it meant. A quiet death in a back room, poison in wine, a knife in a prayer mat. So I vanished. With my loyal men, Arab and Norse alike, we rode east into the Zagros Mountains. Some say we fled to India. Others say we became mercenaries for the Persians. One tale claims I founded a village that still bears my name. But I know the truth, the song that remains. In the north, I am a myth, a man who vanished into the sands. In the east, I am a ghost, a barbarian who ruled with honor. But in the scrolls of a forgotten scholar in Cairo, they found my name, written in ink faded by centuries, Ragnarr ibn Shamal, the Norse Emir. Not a king, perhaps, but close enough. And that, my friend, is the tale of the Viking who became a Muslim king.